if someone's in Alberta, if someone's in BC, someone's in Quebec, is there any restrictions with investing with Equiton?
No, there isn't. So the rules around the qualification rules are fairly similar province to province. There's slight differences. Ontario actually was kind of the last one to get on board with this. Surprise, surprise. It took them forever to figure this out. So this private capital market, it really did start out west. It started years ago there. So we finally caught up here in the center of the universe, whatever. In Quebec, for example, there is one slight restriction in Quebec, and that really depends on whether the investment that you are looking at is available if all the documentation, whether it be legal documentation and marketing documentations, are available in French, then it is available to those three investor categories: the accred, the eligible, and the non-eligible. If the investment that you're looking at is only available in English, then in Quebec, you have to be an accredited investor to be able to get involved in that. But our funds, one of them is available in French, and one of them will be available in French soon, but not just yet. So it's not fully restricted at our shop.
It's not as easy as just throwing it into Google and translating all the documents. It might be a silly question, but
No, you're right. Like, I mean, you can call your broker, or you can go onto Wealthsimple and bet it all on black, and no one's there to stop you, right? But with private markets, they put in these restrictions to make sure that it's suitable for people, and to make sure that the people creating the funds don't kind of put their arms around you and take all your money.
So we understood a little bit about eligibility, meaning how does one qualify? Is this right for me from a high level? And what I will do is, upon completion of this morning's brunch, I'm going to make sure that you send us a couple of links where people can just go back and refer to those eligibility parameters, just so they can kind of self-gauge themselves into a few things, and see if it's right for them. But my next questions for you, Cliff, is what would you say are the top 3 advantages of diversifying into a private real estate fund, whether it's Equiton or there's a number of others that are very well managed and ran. And we know so many great people in this business, and you being at that top echelon is why you're here, because you guys run such a great ship, and we're so proud to be your partners. So what I wanted to hear from you and really dive into our community is, why is it a good idea to take some of the RSP that's been performing? Like, some people saw that nosedive of 40% in the beginning of the pandemic. We're so fortunate that it climbed back up. Yep. But do we see dips and valleys like that when we're in multifam? We don't. So I want you to take us just from with your words, from your vision. Why is it that we so strongly believe in it? And how can we portray that? Because you're not a salesman. You do business development from Equiton. So I want you, from your vision and from your perspective, what do you see the greatest benefit in putting your back end as an investor, your RSPs, into a private real estate fund?
Great question. So a couple of things. Getting involved in active real estate investing, whether that be flips or that kind of thing, is a great way to make money in real estate. Real estate has been, on a tear, and God's not making any more land, and there's way more demand than there is supply. So I continue to see, real estate being a healthy way to invest, passively versus actively investing. So, investing with someone like us or another kind of fund like ours, that would be passive investment. So you are kind of outsourcing the finding of the assets, the running of the assets, to somebody else that is an expert. I consider ourselves to be experts. So the nice thing about doing that is you can diversify and spread your risk out and get access to the efforts of a organization that is compiling and pooling together a lot of assets, far more than you can do on your own. Certainly in active real estate, if you do it right, if you time it right, you can make more money, but it will be taxed immediately depending on the kind of investment that you're in. Whereas this is passive. my pool of our flagship fund, which is our multi-res fund, we've got 1,036 stores in the portfolio right now. So for most people, unless that's their full-time day job, they're not going to be able to acquire, run and improve 1,036 stores on their own. Plus, they probably wouldn't have the cash to do it. So you will get, instant diversification. You get the stability, and you get to partner with a professional investor who, you just may run out of time, talent, and money and not be able to do it on your own. So why not use us and leverage our skills? We can borrow, for instance, to buy these properties at a much lower rate than a single investor can. To give you an example, we just completed a purchase at the end of 2020. It was 10-year fixed rate money, CMHC guaranteed, for 1.9%. So it was basically free. So most people don't have access to that kind of that kind of funding from their bank. So and that was I can't remember how big that purchase was, $20-something million purchase. So we're able to do these things at scale and take away all the headache for you. So you can concentrate on your flip property, or you can concentrate on your your fourplex that you want to run. You don't have to worry about us if 3 people in one of our buildings decide to leave, because we'll just take care of that. We'll re-rent it. We monitor market rents. We jack up the price, so that return just continues to come to you. And it's not, this is not about taking all of your money and putting all your eggs in one basket. This is for a portion of your portfolio that you want to protect, and that you want to be able to sleep at night because X percent or X dollars of my RSP, it's just not going to flop around. I don't need to worry about a president tweeting. I don't need to worry about a subreddit causing my portfolio to tank. It's just going to continue to perform based on the fundamentals of that asset. So we take the time to understand the fundamentals of the asset. We take the time to invest in the right communities so that you don't have to, at least for a portion of your portfolio. Does that help?
Simos, did that answer your question?
It answers my question fully. I compare it. The comparison that I found is that it's kind of going down the line of an ETF or a mutual fund, where you're investing in the manager of the fund. You're investing in the pro behind the vision. If anyone has the time today, I would strongly recommend that you Google Equiton, you Google their performance, you spend some time on their site, and you spend time online looking at other people's opinion of them. They have a spotless record. They've been performing at a high level, which is why we have chosen to work with them. We believe in their management, and I personally have funds in the care of Cliff and his team. So it is a company that I like a lot, and I like what they do. I have actually worked with them to try to sell them property before, and it didn't make it through their due diligence, funny enough. So they're a very, very good, careful, and conservative group. Good for you guys. Jas, on to you,
Thank
pal.
you.
Go ahead.
Sorry, one other thing that I should mention, thank you, is depending on the kind of investment that you get involved in, there can be some very, very significant tax efficiencies that you can pick up. So, for instance, if you so let's just say you've got cash set aside, but for whatever reason it's not enough to make the acquisition that you want, whether it's a multifamily, whether it's single family home, an investment property, whatever it is. And so you want to put that cash to use in real estate. Some funds, ours in particular, they happen to do this. The returns that you can generate out of these funds for cash investing, so non-registered investing, can be tax deferred if the fund is structured correctly. So for both of our funds, any of the returns, if you're investing non-registered money, is 100% tax deferred for tax purposes. So the money that you receive every month from your distributions, you don't pay any tax on it today. That tax is deferred, and it will likely be capital gains. So you pay it when you sell out of the fund at some point down the line. And so that's a real clever way to put funds to use. So if you're maxed out, if you're lucky, you're maxed out on your RSP, you're maxed out on your TFSA, and you don't just want to have this money languishing in a crappy, GIC or something like that, you can put it to use in a passive real estate investment and get tax deferred treatment, which we find a lot of professionals that have professional corps that want to invest through the corp and sort of shield and defer some taxable income. Great way to do that as well.